The courtroom was alive with murmurs, its wooden walls echoing whispers of curiosity. At the center of it all was Nia Brooks, a poised black woman in a tailored blazer, her presence commanding but calm. She stood alone, eyes fixed ahead as the judge leaned forward with a smirk that carried the weight of bias. "Miss Brooks, you again." His voice carried a mocking tone, his laughter a cue for the audience to join in. It rippled through the room like a tidal wave of derision, crashing against her composure. But Nia didn't flinch. With a steady hand, she reached into her blazer, unbothered by the eyes that followed her every move. A moment of suspense filled the air as she drew out a badge, its glint catching the light. "United States Secret Service," she said, her voice cutting to the laughter like a blade. A hush fell over the courtroom, as if someone had turned off the volume on the world. The judge's smirk disappeared, his face tightening with shock. "I'm not here for your amusement," Nia continued, her tone sharp and unwavering. "I'm here on federal business." She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. The room was frozen. Eyes darted between the badge and the judge, the gravity of the situation settling like a thick fog. The laughter was long gone, replaced by an uncomfortable silence that dared no one to move. The judge cleared his throat, trying to regain control of the room. "Federal business, you say? And what might that be?" Nia stepped forward, her heels clicking against the polished floor like the ticking of a clock. "That's classified," she replied, her words clipped and deliberate. "But what I can tell you is that it involves corruption, systemic injustice, and the exploitation of power, issues this courtroom is no stranger to." Gasps and murmurs erupted, but one glance from Nia silenced the crowd. Her presence was magnetic, her authority undeniable. As she spoke, her eyes locked onto the judge, refusing to let him look away. "You see, Judge Williams, you've made quite the habit of turning this courtroom into a theater, where fairness takes a back seat to your prejudice." His face flushed red, his attempt to interject drowned by her unwavering resolve. "Today," she continued, "the show ends." The tension in the room was palpable, every soul waiting for what would happen next. Nia turned to face the courtroom, her voice rising with conviction. "For too long, this space, meant for justice, has been a breeding ground for systemic racism and bias. It stops now." A man in the back whispered, "She's fearless," and the sentiment spread like wildfire. Nia reached into her pocket, pulling out a folded document. "Here," she said, holding it up, "is a federal subpoena, and with it, the authority to investigate every case, every ruling, and every questionable decision made in this courtroom." The judge's composure cracked. "You can't do this," he barked, his voice trembling. "You have no jurisdiction here." Nia raised an eyebrow, her calm demeanor unshaken. "The United States government disagrees. And for the record, I'm not asking for your permission." The room erupted into whispers again, but this time they were filled with admiration and awe. Nia turned back to the judge. "You've used your position to humiliate, to oppress, and to deny justice to those who need it most. People like me, people who look like me." Her words hung heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the systemic inequality that plagued not just this courtroom, but countless others across the country. "But here's the thing about power," she said, her voice softening but not losing its edge. "It's not yours to wield unchecked. And when you abuse it, there's always someone watching." The judge's hands trembled as he adjusted his robe. "You're making a mistake," he muttered, but even he didn't sound convinced. "No, Judge Williams," Nia replied, stepping closer. "The mistake was yours. And now it's time to fix it." She handed the subpoena to the clerk, who accepted it with shaky hands. The document was placed on the bench, its presence a symbol of accountability. The crowd erupted into applause, a sound that filled the room and spilled out into the halls. Phones recorded every moment, the scene already going viral, as people shared captions like "Justice served" and "Powerful black voices standing up against corruption." Nia turned to face the audience, her gaze sweeping over the sea of faces. "This isn't just about me," she said. "It's about every single person who has ever walked into a courtroom and felt the scales of justice tipped against them." Her words resonated deeply, their impact felt by everyone present. "And to those who abuse their power, Let this be a warning, she concluded. Your time is up. She walked out of the courtroom with her head held high, leaving behind a legacy of courage, resilience, and hope